Alright, this is game 2 of round 3 of a modern daily event. Playing against Jund, and we see, and that looks like I'm actually just playing mono red, except with the exception of the Misty Rainforest. But this is a great hand. It deals with Deathrite Shamans quite well, which is a card I'm really concerned about. And he go ahead and casts turn 1 Inquisition of Kozilek, and he says, "What the?" And I respond, "Tech." He takes my Grim Lavamancer, which I expected, and I'm going to go ahead and play Grim Lavamancer, but I'm fairly certain it's dying to a Bolt or a Terminate or something. Yeah, he just needs to deal with the Grim Lavamancer, and he's actually doing okay. So, this hand is kind of embarrassing, just the Lightning Bolt, Burst Lightning, and Searing Blaze, but, should be able to deal with these creatures. And of course I draw the absolute best card I could draw there, which is Goblin Guide, and attack him. I see a Thoughtseize, which is pretty laughable considering all of these basically do Thoughtseize its job. Or, him Thoughtseizing me basically does the job of any of these cards, except for Searing Blaze. Of course, Searing Blaze does 3 damage to a creature and a player. So he's going to Thoughtseize and take the Searing Blaze here. But that does bring his life total down, which is exactly what I want. Unfortunately, he plays a Tarmogoyf, which is pretty much a brick wall for my deck. So the only way I'm ever getting around this is if I kill it and keep attacking. Otherwise, my Goblin Guide is completely useless. So I actually just use my burn spells here and keep attacking. He only has 2 cards left in his hand. They could be completely useless against the Goblin Guide Onslaught. So I need to be able to keep attacking in and just get in as much damage as I can. So here I attack. I draw him Marsh Flats, which I don't really care. Yeah, the downside to Goblin Guide is hardly a downside at all. And he casts another Tarmogoyf, which is basically the worst thing I could see, worst thing possible for me. So here I cast Thought Scour, targeting myself, and I draw a Snapcaster Mage, which is pretty sweet. Snapcaster is a Lightning Bolt plus a 2/1, both of which are very relevant when you're playing an aggressive deck. So here I attack into his Tarmogoyf, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to Snapcaster the Searing Blaze with the Landfall. Of course he has an Abrupt Decay on top of his deck, so he's going to be able to deal with my Snapcaster Mage. So he blocks, then play Scalding Tarn, then I go Snapcaster Searing Blaze, which kills the Tarmogoyf, well, it finishes off anyway, and deals 3 damage to him. So he's at 11. So on his turn, he cracks the Marsh Flats, dropping to 10, casts Liliana, and makes me sacrifice my Snapcaster. Draw a Thoughtseize, or a Thought Scour rather, might as well play it, and I draw a Remand, which is just about the worst thing you can have with an active Liliana on the field. He makes me discard it, and he's going to be able to resolve whatever he wants. And he discards, of course he has the Slaughter Games in his hand, which is great against the Splinter Twin portion, because even if your opponent looks like they're going to go Deceive Exarch Splinter Twin, you just get to cast Slaughter Games and name Splinter Twin, and then you can't die. And here he casts Dark Confidant, which I actually don't mind, because he's got a bunch of cards that cost 3 and 4 in his deck, and, well, he can take some damage. So here I cast Serum Visions. I draw into a Spell Pierce, which is, again, completely useless. Thought Scour and Delver of Secrets are pretty much useless for me. I think I put the Delver of Secrets on the bottom. Actually, I put both on the bottom. Yeah, they don't really do much to me. I just want burn spells to throw at his face, and hope that his Dark Confidant gets him low enough for that to kill him. Here he finds Maelstrom Pulse, which is, in addition to being completely useless against my board state, deals 3 damage to him. So I get a free Lightning Bolt. He causes us both to discard. I just discard the Spell Pierce. He discards the Lightning Bolt, the Maelstrom Pulse that I just drew, realizing it's pretty pointless. He still has an Abrupt Decay in his hand. Here I cast Serum Visions, find a Goblin Guide. I actually forgot about the Abrupt Decay at this point, but and then I see Serum Vision Steam Vents. I want to keep the Serum Visions on top because I just want to use it to help me find a burn spell, and Steam Vents I obviously don't need land at this point. So I cast Goblin Guide and I try to attack. My opponent actually lets me attack, which I think is a mistake, because if it just Goblin Guide attacking, the Goblin Guide trigger helps me do damage to him with the Dark Confidant trigger. Like, if he has land on top of his deck at this point, the land goes into his hand and he gets the card underneath it with the Dark Confidant, which could potentially deal damage to him. He abrupt decays my Goblin Guide, and he reveals Bloodbraid Elf, which is going to deal 4 damage to him. So, it ended up not mattering, but whatever. So he gets the Bloodbraid Elf, and yeah, he casts it, and we'll see what he cascades into. The Deathrite Shaman. So that's actually a problem for me. The Deathrite Shaman, on his turn, in response to the Dark Confidant trigger, he can use the Deathrite Shaman to gain 3 life and just not quite die yet. So he puts 1 Lily on it. Obviously he doesn't need Thoughtseize, and he attacks. So yeah, I draw my Serum Visions. I need to hit Snapcaster or Lightning Bolt. Sure enough, with the draw, I hit Snapcaster Mage, and I Lightning Bolt him, and win this game. So, I got a little lucky in the end there, but I think this goes to show how the sideboard plan worked out. He had cards like Slaughter Games, which were really bad against my deck, actually. And another card like Dark Confidant, which actually actively helped him lose that game. This is great against the combo deck that I was playing in game 1, because you get to play it and it helps you dig into your answers for the combo. But against the aggro deck, it just eats away at ate away at his own life total, as you could see there. So that's, you know, a pretty sizable advantage for sideboarding into the aggro deck. It's actually, the Jund matchup is one of the reasons why I wanted to have this sideboard plan involving, like, Goblin Guide, because they bring in cards like Dark Confidant and Slaughter Games, which make a conventional Exarch Twin, it makes a conventional Splinter Twin deck very ineffective. So, yeah, we see the sideboard plan working out once again. Alright, so we're going to go on to round 4. See you then.